What's going on, guys? My name is Matthias, and I'm currently caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The victim's name is Deb. She was a friend, and I'm kind of hung up on trying to find out who did it. She was murdered about a month ago, and I feared the trail went cold until now. On my way to the office now, and I just got an alert that Gary actually sent us some documents. For those of you who don't know who Gary is, he's a G-man, pulling the strings in the shadows. Despite giving him some of the leads, he's still a suspect because he had a clear opportunity to murder Deb. He knew her address. When I told him I found that out, he immediately rolled over and made a deal with me. One of the reasons we have access to the documents you're about to see. I'm hoping that these confirm what he claims about Chloe. For those of you that haven't seen that last episode, he claimed that Chloe sued Deb.
I've already heard of a patient named Chloe, yes. She constantly tried to sue Syntec, specifically Deborah, for what they did to her while she was in their care.
It possibly could reveal a motive as to why Chloe could have murdered Deb. Chloe, another suspect in the case, is an interesting one, to say the least. I found a fake passport created for her so she could leave the country in a rush. I have that passport now, so I doubt she got very far. But if that doesn't reek of guilt, I don't know what does. Got the files. Open it up. This looks familiar, doesn't it?
What is
the
that?
green file. Open it up. These are supposedly Chloe's attempts at suing Deb.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding at all.
Sorry, I have a cold.
You don't need to apologize for that.
Okay, I just wanted to say.
Unless you intentionally gave yourself a cold,
No,
then
I
you
didn't.
should apologize.
No, I didn't.
Don't forget, I own and run my own studio. I've had people do that. Give themselves a cold to avoid work. Not lately, but still. I've even had people pretend to have a cold, then upload photos of themselves at Disneyland. They weren't too smart.
What is this again? I don't
That is
remember.
Plaintiff's claim in order to go to
Small Claims Court. This is the stuff Gary was talking about.
It looks like there's multiple, bro. And both of them are void. There's way more.
Oh yeah, these are all
There's way
different
more.
small claims.
These are all different?
Yeah,
these are
they're
all
all
different.
different.
She tried to sue Deb multiple times, clearly never got through with it. You see, Chloe is allegedly an experiment survivor at the hands of a pretty nasty biotech company known as Syntec, and the one in charge of those experiments was Deb. This could very well be the reason she was trying to get out of the country, or it could be the motive for something more sinister. My assumption here, I don't think these went through because obviously when you're a subject of an experiment, you sign your rights away.
Oh yeah, that's true. She probably signed basically her life away and has no actual claim to like getting any sort of retaliation or like any sort of settlement for stuff she went through.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she signed the contract and didn't really know what to expect. Maybe she did read it. Maybe the contract was kind of just misleading.
I mean, sometimes contracts are one just like so big and intimidating. Like a lot of people, I feel like don't read. I don't read terms and agreements on Apple. I don't. I'm sorry. No one does. No, you're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that you read the terms and agreements.
Why do you think I'm so busy all the time?
I could owe like a firstborn child to Apple and I would have no idea.
True. Can someone read the TOS for Apple? I just want to make sure my firstborn actually belongs to me. Yeah, cool, thanks. Okay, so that's a bunch of these things.
Does it say on there like what she was trying to sue Deb for? Like it looks like she's just suing her for general malpractice, which makes sense.
Yeah. This does align with what looked like 20-year-old footage we found, claiming that Deb was experimenting on Chloe and going too far.
She's always been strong enough to stand up to Nelson, especially when it comes to the patients and when things get going too far.
I don't know the truth of that situation, but it wouldn't be beyond Syntec to push experiments too far. So this is like Chloe's medical profile and
This is from
Syntec files?
Yeah, this is all Syntec stuff.
Bizarre. What are you seeing there?
List of allergies: cat fur, grass, peanuts. How do you find this trial? Recommended by coworker.
Have we seen these files?
Well, I think we've saw versions of these files like in the filing cabinet.
Yeah, we did have patient files. So
We didn't go too deep into them.
recommended for Project Pegasus and Project Spire. I feel like that's pretty familiar. Like we've seen something like that, like a recommendation for Project Pegasus. I think our experiment survivor, the one we can't name, was a recommendation for Project Pegasus.
I think so. Almost positive this company Syntec is out of business, but If you get recommended to join one of these experiment trials, I would advise you to turn and run with extreme prejudice.
Well, yeah, this is just interesting. I'm just curious, like, what on this patient profile made her a recommendation for not just one, but 2 different projects?
That's true.
Like,
Can we take a look to see if there's anything else? Because these are protocol titles, Project Pegasus. These are injection tests.
This is a serious adverse effect file. Was this event unexpected? No. Subject's pain level increased before complaining of odd hallucinations.
Odd hallucinations.
Vocal cords are probably damaged.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Screaming?
Yeah, probably. Category of severe adverse effect disability / incapacity. Was
Right.
study intervention discontinued due to the event? No. We saw that on some of the other like severe adverse event forms.
The fact that this box was checked with no brings a lot more validity to these claims of malpractice. Through all of this pain and damage and ill effects, they continued to experiment. What was so important about those experiments that made it worth that risk?
So what happened to her?
I mean, I don't know, but Dee signed off on all of these.
The year 2000.
It's clear why she was upset with Dee, because Dee
Yeah.
was the one who signed off on
Oh,
all
there's
of this
more.
stuff.
There's more.
Oh my
Some of
gosh.
it's redacted.
Okay, person of interest for authorized personnel only. Druitt, Chloe, date of birth 1980, college intern for UCLA. First name Deborah, authorized information.
Sam, can you read that report?
What you're about to hear is a lab report written from Dee herself during the experimentation on Chloe. Brace yourself for this one.
It's February 15th, 2000. My concern with Chloe is my inability to treat her side effects effectively. The tests are falling further and further behind because she's not ready. Her hallucinations are odd. They are of places, people, and even events she's never seen before. Is this a potential splintering? I don't know what that is.
Splintering, huh?
Yeah.
Not the first time we've heard that, though.
Yeah, we've seen it on other effect or like event form.
The first time we heard the word splinter was maybe 2 years ago when we stumbled upon documents found in Deb's hideout hidden under the stairs. During that era of when Syntec owned and operated out of our building before us, guessing early 2000s, Deborah had created a space where she could lay low and run her own experiments without the watchful eyes of the questionable leaders of Syntec. The word splintering has come up many times since then, and I don't have a shed of evidence to define it.
I'll mark it as confirmed for the time being. Scott can change it if necessary. So there's a mention of Scott. I don't know how much more of this testing she can handle. Scott has reported that her screaming is disturbing the other patients, and she isn't hesitating to use that pain to spew threats to those at Syntec, including myself. So I'm assuming this is Deb.
Using pain to spew threats.
Well, I mean, like, you know, a lot of people don't know really how to manage pain, and that's very normal.
So we learned 2 major things from this report. Number 1, she was lashing out with physical violence. And 2, she was confirmed by Deb to be splintered. If splintering is half as bad as it sounds, Chloe could very well be our murderer.
One last part. Considering her pain levels, I'm not surprised nor offended. Scott seems uneasy though. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this was written around the same time we saw Scott, and I think, didn't he say the other guy's name was like Xander or something?
On that DVD. Who was that you were talking to?
Just the tech, Xander.
Having that conversation about Chloe, like I bet that happened in 2000, like around all of this.
Possibly.
Okay, so this shows that like Chloe,
Has motive.
yeah, I mean clearly like has a lot against Deb, and Scott was trying to help her escape, so maybe she did escape and maybe she got her revenge.
Yeah, maybe she got her revenge.
Would have had to like recover from her disabilities, no?
We don't know what that
But
was.
yeah, exactly. It sounded like her disabilities were hallucinations and not necessarily of the physical kind.
Yeah, maybe just like having seasons of like mental incapacitation.
Yeah, dark stuff. Okay, thanks guys. I'm gonna take this and put this on my evidence board.
Well, so what does it mean that Gary sent us this stuff? Like, do we
Well, I
trust
mean-
him as a source?
Yeah, I
Clearly he
mean,
had-
you know, these are pretty official files.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we have the ability to authenticate these files.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's information that we have to take.
I don't think I can really trust any of these people that ever came in contact or worked for Syntec, but that doesn't mean the evidence isn't real. The truth is, I don't have a lot of time to confirm, so I have to take it at face value because surprisingly, that wasn't the most interesting thing that happened to me today. Okay, I'm not sure if this is legit or not, but I just got an email. I gotta grow out my beard.
I got an email, bro.
From?
John Doe. At least he says he's John Doe, because if you recall the last email we got, he burned.
I need to go into hiding. I know that I'm in danger at this point. I'm sorry, but I need to kill this email. Good luck. And there ends our contact with John Doe.
He burned. Wait, then how do you know it's John Doe?
He said?
Okay.
I'd like you and Sam to help me look over it if that's possible.
For the newbies here, John Doe is an undercover officer who historically has helped us navigate the fallout of working in a building owned previously by Syntec, this defunct company, and all the chaos we keep stumbling into. Why is this so surprising? Because about a month or two ago, he burned his email and went off the grid, letting us know before that he was now on the run. We haven't heard from him until now.
Sam?
Yeah?
I got an email.
From John Doe.
Possibly
John
from...
Doe. But he retired his email. Didn't you tell me he was...
It's a different email. I don't know if it's actually
we
John
trust
Doe.
this?
No, that's why I'm asking you guys. Can we look at it?
Yeah?
Let's do it. Again, word to the wise with this murder, trust no one. Skepticism and curiosity are not mutually exclusive. All right, we're here. Jim Colt. I got this email. I got a ping. I clicked it. It says Jim Colt, 0jimcolt0@gmail.com. Almost the exact same kind of like formatting as Sipiter's, right?
Yeah.
But look. I know it's been a few months since we last spoke. It's me, John Doe. I know about Deborah, and if you're all as tenacious as she said you were, I'm sure you're already combing through everything you can to find evidence for her murder. When I heard, I knew I had to spring into action. I managed to pull some strings with someone I trust that works in forensic. I'm sure you'll find it interesting. I've left everything I could find in a folder that should be private. I'll be stopping by your studio soon. He's gonna come.
Well, but I'm so confused. The last time we heard from John Doe, we were setting up this whole evidence exchange. We go out there, he doesn't show up, and his car is there just like abandoned. So we assumed something bad happened to him.
Well, he
because
emailed us
said-
after that.
In that email, he was saying that he was burning that email. Is Deb's death big enough for him to just come out of the shadows, tell us his real name, knowing that we film everything and upload it online?
Clearly. It seems like he always has a reason for things. Can you blur out this link just so people don't like put it in? It's not above subject 4 to literally type this out, you crazy people who are very helpful. Thank you.
We love it.
Here we go. I don't know what I'm gonna see.
Wait,
so,
so this is from the crime scene?
Forensic.
just default blur everything right now. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll tell you to unblur things.
Yeah. There's a lot of photos here.
This is of the crime scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so some of these photos I recognize. I recognize these photos because we've actually been to the crime scene. Last week, we actually saw a lot of this stuff up close for ourselves in person. So, check out that video if you're curious. It was shocking. Yep, I mean, we have a very similar photo.
Oh yeah, of the clock.
Look,
funny.
Yeah, they did the exact same thing
thing
that I did. They took a bunch and that was different times.
Okay, so the clock was doing this when they were there.
Yeah.
So it's not just something that happened when we were there. That's interesting.
Again,
The vials.
the vials.
All right.
These aren't that different than, what we took. Look at that, though.
That's so weird.
I wonder if it tasted
Like coffee?
like coffee.
Yeah, why don't you go put it in your mouth, bro?
No, definitely don't.
All familiar so far.
Like
We've
all
seen
the
this.
shadows and everything are just still wild.
He probably doesn't know that we saw all this stuff.
Probably not. I mean, I doubt he knows that we were there.
Super bizarre. This is the MK Ultra stuff. Yeah, that's the body outline. So strange. That body outline that you saw, pretty much our only clue as to how Deb was murdered. Right now, we have no idea what caused her death. But just wait, it gets stranger.
I would want to know what their thoughts were
Right?
about seeing all of this. I wish we got sent their notes as well.
Yeah. Well, I want to know.
Whoa! Oh,
What?
we can't show this, right?
You can't see anything.
No, I guess that's true. Ooh. Oh, I don't like that at all.
What does that mean? She's standing up, bro.
Wait, yeah, what?
She's standing up. She died standing up?
But in that position? I mean, that's clearly the position that made the shadow. What?
Yeah, exactly. That's the position that made the shadow. So then what?
What happened?
I was expecting her to like be blasted and then fall over.
Yeah.
But she like straight up died standing up? How does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
What?
on earth?
Oh.
That is not
Okay.
natural. That is not right. I can't show this on YouTube, guys. I'm blurring this out.
What happened?
can't.
What could possibly do this to a person?
Bro, she's frozen. She just froze.
It did what it did to the coffee and the serum.
You're about to find out our theory here isn't that far off from the truth.
It was so hot in that apartment. It's been like over 100 degrees here these past like few weeks. How is it possible that she froze somewhere?
No.
Oh, that's so creepy. Wait, here's the autopsy report. Name, Deborah redacted. Deborah redacted? Even in the final autopsy report, her name was
why
redacted?
Would they redact her last name? What?
How? And why? This is all sorts of strange, y'all. When we first met Deb via the Apple II years ago, we've never learned her last name. Through all of the digging and searching, how could she have that much pull across organizations to have her name redacted? Age 57. Deb was 57 years old when she died. She didn't seem like she was 57 to me.
I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense, like, timeline-wise of, like, Syntec and everything, but that doesn't feel right for some reason.
Female? Deb was a woman? Just kidding. Length, 5'7", weight, 145, eyes, green, hair, brown.
Eyes
What?
green.
Hair brown. Wait, duh, hair brown. Hair brown.
But in the other file, like, remember how all the fan art started being, like, blonde with blue eyes? And we were all like, no, that doesn't feel right.
Is there a description of her?
Yes.
Yeah, and it said blonde.
It said blonde.
And not only that, the crime scene photos are brown.
So clearly she's actually a brunette.
Or she dyed her hair.
I mean,
True.
that's actually a really, like, we're all like, what?
How is this possible?
But, like, if she went into hiding, there's a good chance she dyed her hair. Thanks for bringing that logic into this.
It was more exciting when it wasn't logic.
Yeah.
Blood type, A+. Contents in blood, undetermined. Blood has crystallized and contents cannot be measured with accuracy.
Crystallized?
Like the coffee.
Like the serum.
That's it. It can't get any stranger than that. Deb, our victim, was crystallized to death and died standing up. I've heard of everything now. Blood has crystallized.
It probably just stiffened her up. She's just like froze like that.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, that makes my body
Everything
hurt.
liquid in her body just crystallized.
Rigor mortis, not applicable. In other words, she didn't decay.
What is
I thought rigor
this?
mortis was when the body stiffens up.
Yeah, due to decay. Victim's flesh appears to be crystallized into a solid state. Room was recorded at 80 degrees. Weather was recorded at mid-90s, so we're unclear on how crystals formed. Victim was found standing straight up without leverage. Shadow marked on wall, most likely due to the substance she encountered. Probable cause of death, exposure, substance unknown.
I don't know what to make of that.
It's kind of validating.
How is this validating?
That
This is
the police
terrifying.
are reporting this. Like it's not just us, you know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
What?
There's more
Disturbing.
files here, though. If I'm not mistaken, these are probably close-ups of her.
Maybe.
Like of the autopsy, like
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's my guess.
What? Like under a microscope
Under
or
a
something?
microscope, yes. Look, microscope.
it's like glass.
Yeah, it looks like sharp, like crystals, like
Crystals,
fragments.
yeah, fragments.
Kind of looks like there's data inside of those crystals.
But again, like what can do that to a person? Like if that's like a sample of like her skin or something, like how does that happen to someone?
I do not know.
That's so scary.
Without intense heat or cold.
Because whatever did that also left that like crystallization, like shadow.
I was all out of ideas, so I did what I always do. Turn to you guys. You never fail me. I don't have any idea what this means, but I think we should share it to Subject 4 on our Discord and ask for them to post theories to the Reddit. And we can look at them tomorrow maybe.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at this and I'm being like, I got no ideas, but I'm also like a little bit blindsided by it.
What does John Doe want from us?
He just sent it to us. He said he's stopping by soon. Okay, I just posted it. Posted all the photos here. Yeah, I didn't post the disturbing one, but I said, hey, we got access to Deb's autopsy and crime scene photos. This is super strange. We have no idea what happened here. Please help us. What possibly could have caused this? I want to view your theories tomorrow, so post anything interesting you have on Reddit, and we'll see you then. I'm pretty sure people are gonna be spamming this chat. Yeah, look at all the people are seeing it. I'm gonna check in with you tomorrow on theories. Please have something for me. We gotta figure this out. Before I show you what happens next, I'm going to read a few of your theories and responses to the question of the day from the last episode, which was, if someone were trying to keep you quiet, what would you do about it? Honestly, I would first weigh my options. Depending on how dire the situation is, I would most likely not keep quiet. Yes, it may be dangerous, but who's to say they wouldn't kill you off later? Please be careful, guys. You know what sort of twisted lies could be in play. Seriously. Do what is right, not what is easy. If you think keeping quiet is right, go for it. But if getting the word out is right, the community will support you. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. He needs the absolute more than you need him. He's blackmailing you. You hold an unspeakable power over him. Problem is I don't have the absolute. That was stolen on the exact same day Deb was murdered. So I'm not sure how much power I have over him. He might think that right now, and hopefully we can keep it. Theory. What if Scary Gary is sending you down a goose chase to buy himself some more time? Maybe when he found out that you had some info on him, he freaked out, so he gave you guys a distraction to buy him more time and go out and get rid of any evidence that might lead you guys to him and prove him to be guilty. That way, he will have time to clear himself and get more info on where the absolute is. So while you're looking for Chloe, you should go back to the crime scene with some equipment like a blacklight and see if you can find any stuff on Chloe and Gary and see what happened to Deb. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea indeed. If we can swing it, we might go back to the murder location soon, as much as I don't want to. Theory. Maybe Syntec didn't actually go out of business. Maybe they are an underground business, faked shutting down to be left alone. Just be careful when listening to Gary. I wouldn't be surprised if he lied to you or set a trap. Love the series and the mustache. Thank you. Thank you indeed. But you have a point there, because from what we know, Syntec is a global operation, so they could have labs and locations everywhere or anywhere around the world. It could quite literally be around the corner from you. Theory. Since Scott appears to have possibly time traveled and is now stuck in some sort of time loop, he may not be the only one stuck in said time loop. And if we go off of this, Deb may also be stuck in said time loop. So it might be possible to find Deb and directly ask her questions. I wouldn't even know the first way to do that. Interesting theory, but I have no idea how to practically put that into action. I would recommend you continue building a case against GR, but subtly. That way, you can be insured from whatever curveballs he might throw at you in the future. Not a bad idea, and we may just do that. So, it's about ready. I show you what happens next. Roll it. I just got an email. Jim Colt, be prepared. Whoa. Deb's true cause of death was due to... Jeez, what does that mean, guys? It's getting to be that time. I'm gonna call Gary.
If we lose this space, who knows what else we're gonna lose?
You feel good about yourself just because we're wrapped up in all this?
Why, they suggest a deal.
What kind of deal?